What up, though? Episode 22. This is the pod pregame, short pod pregame, because it's almost go time with Prima BP. She's currently, quote, peeling herself off of the couch. We've got a great guest, my main man, Pots and Pans, Brennan Brown of Keystone Funding. We're going to follow up on questions we've gotten in past episodes about the pre-approval process, what that entails, what that looks like, and hopefully Brennan will explain it in a way that puts people at ease, that it's relatively straightforward, easy process, but really important too. So excited to have BB on and excited to see my little cuz, Prima BP. Viewer feedback should be interesting today. I got roasted in many ways from many people about my rant last week in regards to my anniversary, and so we will share that. I'll take it on the chin. That touched a chord with people. Most people not thrilled with the rev, so maybe I got some splaining to do. Here, BP's waiting. I got to put on my glasses because she told me I should wear these, and I'll explain. Here we go.
Welcome to Rev and BP, the podcast where real estate meets romance and absolutely nothing is off limits. Meet your host, Ben Stentz of Lux Property Group, your go-to guy for luxury homes, killer deals, and occasional dad jokes, and Kristen Gonzalez of Hype Woman Productions, wedding planner, chaos coordinator, and certified vibe curator. They're cousins, they're besties, and they bring the energy. From love and real estate to big life moves and beautiful spaces, and mostly a bunch of random shit you didn't need to know, pull up a chair, pour up a drink, and get ready to laugh, learn, and low-key spiral with the best cousin combo in the game. This is Rev and BP. Let's get into it.
Hi.
What up, Doe? I brought the glasses at your suggestion.
I like those. They
You
look
know,
very futuristic.
it's like in the world, some of the greatest inventions came by accident, right? Like I think the guy who was trying to make something else just figured out how to make Post-its. And I had these slick glasses that I bought at the Rehoboth Beach sidewalk sale in the spring for like $5. And my wife on Saturday spilled a Diet Coke like real time, and it was coming towards me, and I jumped up and I dropped my glasses, and both the lenses popped out. And through that chaos comes this look, which is obviously a killer look for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Chef's kiss. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Only problem is you could still get poked in the eye with these because there's no protection, no protection.
Yeah, it's a fashion statement for sure.
It's a fashion statement. How are you, Prima BP?
I'm good. As you know, I had to peel myself off the couch. You know, it's like it's a weird time right now. We are so busy, yet at the same time slow. It's like a weird balance of like things happening now, but I'm trying to look ahead, but it's all going to come together and work out. And I still have faith in my company, which it's amazing after 2 years. Some business owners, they don't quite get this far. So, um, I was telling Dustin, my husband, for everybody who doesn't know Dusty Buns, there's like the peaks and valleys, and you get tempted by other opportunities that may come your way, but my focus is on this business. This is my full-time job, and I'm staying strong with it.
That's the spirit. And you have to. And you're right. I mean, there's a lot of data out there in all fields about the percentage of entrepreneurs that kind of don't make it maybe around that first turn in the bend or that second turn. And you've done that and you're doing what you do. And of course, everybody wants to have some more and do more. But that comes in time. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. Like,
survived like that first wave or two that like could have knocked you down and drowned you, but you got up and kept going.
yeah, totally. So it's been good. It's good to be tested, like it's really good to be tested and know what's important and what's not important. We were, I'm like thinking about our future guests that we have, but I'm super pumped for today. Tell us about who we have. I know he's probably gonna be in the waiting room any minute, but I'm super pumped for this. This is like a callback to a few episodes ago.
Right.
We had to do some rescheduling. Now we're here. Tell us.
Yes, I mentioned him on the pod, the short pod pre. I also mentioned you peeling yourself off the couch, just for the record. Our guest today is Brennan Brown. He is a loan officer with Keystone Funding, which is local here in the Delaware area. I've gotten to know Brennan over the last few years because he's written loans for a whole bunch of my clients, and I've come to realize that he's super trustworthy. He's super smart and talented at what he does. And maybe most importantly, in his world, he's dependable. Like if I
Mm,
connect him with a client, I know he's going to get the job done. And that's like worth its weight in gold. On top of that,
yeah.
he's a really cool guy. Um,
Okay.
we've gotten to play golf a number of times, me and him and the Lair Bear. Brennan's an awesome young guy. He's a husband. I'll let him talk about that. And he's a new dad. He's got like a
Oh,
3, 4, 5 month old son at home.
okay.
So
All right. We'll have to ask him about how he's juggling having a newborn, right?
yeah, I think that
I need to know.
I think he'll have a lot to say because the Luxors, have kept Brennan busy this year, working on mortgages for people, and that can get chaotic, the volume and the number of moving parts, and to have a newborn. I know he's had some late nights with his baby and had to grind out some tough days, but he is, I will definitely be busting his chops when he comes on here because that's what we do. But before he gets on, I want to say like he's one of the like legitimately like kindest, nicest, like wholesome young guys I know. Like
Nice.
he is as solid as they come. But we love to make fun of his hair. He's got great hair.
I was gonna say, I remember Jenny was telling me, okay, so viewers, before he comes on, you'll all have to judge his hair. He doesn't know that we're talking about this right now, obviously. But then we need some viewer feedback on the hair.
We will, yeah. He's got great hair. He's got $1 million smile.
Okay.
We like to call him Zac Efron for some reason because it's like he's mad handsome. Like
Okay.
he's like a movie star, this guy.
All right.
He's all buff, like he's in the gym. Like, yeah, he's got all
Okay.
that, but
Okay.
but as humble as you could be. If I had his looks and his hair, I'd be fucking out of control. You kidding me? Um,
Oh my God.
Great.
That's hilarious.
And I was thinking earlier, a number of episodes back, we had some random conversations we had about real estate. You were talking about maybe, whether you were going to buy another house in Austin or maybe somewhere
Yeah.
else. And we had some viewer feedback mentioning like talking about the pre-approval process, like what that means, how hard is it to do, how important is it? And so we're going to get some input from Brennan on that too.
Yeah.
Hopefully that people will hear and realize that it's nothing to be scared of. It's just one step in this puzzle of trying to be a homeowner.
Yeah. Totally. Hey, is he in the waiting room yet?
Not yet.
Okay, well, what's going on with you? Sorry that I didn't ask. I
That's
just was
okay.
like jumping right into things.
That's okay.
What's going on with you and the Luxors?
Luxors are freaking like hitting on all cylinders right now. Just gonna put it out there. We had a great September and we're having a great October. I wrote an offer today or last night that for a buyer I represent who wanted to buy a house for a seller that the Larbo represents.
Okay.
And he met with his client this morning and called me, and there was a little bit of negotiation about a few things, but we ratified the contract. So I'm about to go down this road and to settlement across the aisle from Larbo himself. Yeah,
Nice.
but that's exciting.
Awesome.
Like despite how I feel about Larry personally, I've learned that there's nothing worse than doing a deal with another agent who's like a mess.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't communicate, unorganized, maybe doesn't even really know what they're doing uh, that well. So what I know about doing a deal with Larry is Larry's like super communicative. He's very on top of his stuff, and so we won't have any issues that way. If we hit some bumps in the road, we'll talk, we'll work it out. So
Heck yeah. Nice. Tell him I said hi when you see him.
I will. So Luxors are super busy. We got a few events coming up here. Actually, this week, tomorrow night, there's a big trivia event, kind of Halloween themed.
What?
The Luxors are the defending champs, so we will be defending our title.
Wait, this feels like bowling league territory. Who are you playing with?
There'd be other real estate groups there. It's hosted by a local real estate attorney, and so it's like
Oh, okay.
prizes and food and drink. And we won it last year. We dominated it.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh, that is hilarious. Where is it? Where does it take place?
it's at a restaurant that's like on site at a golf course. And
Oh,
pretty
cool.
low key. So we're doing that. And then Thursday night is the annual Bras for a Cause event.
This is the one that you were showing me pictures of. I can't believe that was already a year ago
Yeah.
when you
So
guys were telling me about it.
also, we will be going there to defend our title because we are the defending champions. The Lair Bear won it in big fashion last year as far as raising the most money
Yep.
for breast cancer research.
Mhm.
One of our other agents, I'm not going to say who from the team, will be sporting the bra this year. The theme is a pirate theme.
Why can't you tell us?
Because I don't want to. I don't want to spoil the surprise on Thursday night when he
Are
comes
they just
out.
supposed to show up and like you don't know who it is?
Nobody knows. I mean, we know who it is, but nobody else knows. And
Oh.
they've been working with Leslie and the
Oh,
decorating the brawl. Like there's like practice and everything. Talk
I
about
heard you
practice.
say he. I so
But it's not me. It's not me. I promise you that.
okay.
And then Saturday here is the big Sea Witch Festival, which is like a
Oh
Halloween
yeah.
parade. 100,000 people come into Rehoboth Beach every year for Sea Witch.
Yeah.
Our office has a float, which we did last year, and we'll be walking with the float, which is fun.
Okay.
So yeah,
What's the float? Like what is it of?
Charlie Brown and Company is our theme, the Peanuts.
Oh my gosh. Are you guys going like Macy's Day Parade style or it's on wheels?
Our float, no, it's like a trailer that's like
Okay.
decorated, and then we're walking like aside it, with our outfits on, passing out
Oh my
candy.
gosh. That's fun.
So we got three big events and a lot of business and no complaints. Brennan's here. I'm gonna let him in, but I just want to tell you one thing I mentioned in the pod pregame.
Oh.
I've gotten roasted by many people about my anniversary rant last week. And the viewer feedback was not friendly towards me, and I'm gonna share it all because maybe I deserve it. You don't have to say
No, no
that.
comment.
We'll see. Yeah, I just want you to know, like people were coming at me like for real. Like a couple people called me like, dude, and I was like,
Talk nice. Talk nice about your wife.
nice words. All right, here comes Brendan Brown. Here
Okay.
comes Brendan Brown. Yeah, I got fried on that. I got explaining, dude. There's
That's
my
so
guy.
funny.
There he is.
Hello.
Hello.
What is up, guys?
What's up?
That's
Hey,
the
no Hulk
man.
Hogan for me. No Hulk Hogan for me.
Only certain people can pull that off. It's not me and it's not you.
And yeah, I think only Larry the Legend can do that for sure.
Fair. Well, Brennan Brown, you're virtually meeting my cousin, my bestie, Prima BP, Kristen
Hey,
Gonzalez.
Yes. Hey, Kristen, how are you?
howdy. I'm doing great. How are you?
Yes, I'm great. It is so good to be on here and chat it up. I love what you guys are doing.
Heck
Love it.
yeah. Well, we're just bullshitting, but we love that you're on too. We've been talking about you for a couple weeks now, so it's big time that we have you. So thanks for taking the time with us
Of
and
course.
giving our viewers some insights into what you do and some pro tips. I love it. I think I
Mm,
need it more than anybody.
mm.
That's how the idea of bringing Brennan on came about was, I don't know, 5, 10 episodes ago. Kristen was mentioning that she lives in like Fort Worth, Texas area, but was thinking about maybe buying another property down in Austin because she's doing a lot of business down there and maybe
Okay.
there's an advantage to that. And so we got talking about, like pre-approval, second home rates. We kind of got in this and said, we need a pro on here. I'm like the number one rule of being a realtor is stay in your lane. Don't act like you're a lender, an attorney, or anything else. So I was like, let me stop talking. Let's get a pro on here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You start talking second homes, investments, primaries. There's so many different routes you can go, and everything. There's a lot that changes per each route. So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. I'm more than happy to chat and see what's up. Yeah.
Kristen,
love it.
before we start talking about that, we have to do what we do with all guests is ask Brennan to please share your official government name with the viewers.
Yeah,
Government
because
name.
if we learn that you have a new name, that's not uncommon on this pod.
A
That's
government
true.
name. Okay. My name's I don't really have a long name. My full government name is Brennan Lee Brown. Middle name's Lee.
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 Okay.
Mhm.
Lee?
How do we think that Lee is spelled? Is it Lee, Leigh? We're
Yep.
not trying to get your social security number on this podcast. Just, this
Yeah.
is how we have to,
Yeah.
what is it called? Um,
Uh,
not like
Ver
burn. What?
verify who he is?
No, no. What's it called? Like in sorority and fraternity houses where they like go through rush week?
Initiation.
It's initiation. It's pod
I
initiation.
think it's
gotcha.
L-E-E. I think it's L-E-E. That's
I
what I
do
Yeah.
too.
Yep, it's Lee, and it's a lot different than my other siblings. It's funny. People who know me closely know we've had this conversation before because I'm Hawaiian. So it's tradition that the firstborn doesn't get a Hawaiian middle name. But my sisters have like long Hawaiian middle names.
really.
Okay.
So it's like my one sister's name is Maya Dawn Kekalani Brown, and
Oh,
then
whoa, that's cool.
yeah, it's like super long and sophisticated. I still don't even know how to spell it. And then my others is Alyssa Lynn Kanoe Lonnie Brown.
Damn.
Okay.
Super similar. It's cool.
So you're
But
just
I'm
like,
Brendan.
I'm Lee.
I'm just Brendan Lee Brown.
I'm Brandon.
Why is it the tradition that is it firstborn or first son?
So, well, it was tradition the firstborn doesn't get the Hawaiian middle name. So my middle name is based off of one of my grandfathers. But
Okay.
all my other cousins, I guess they didn't get the memo and they've got Hawaiian middle names.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love
But
it.
fun fact. Fun fact.
Thanks for sharing.
For the viewers, we did a little intro on Brennan before he came on, but he is a man of many talents. First of all, from what I understand, stud baseball player in his prime. I've heard the stories.
I mean, I could swing the bat a little bit here and there.
Okay, okay. Uh,
Swing the bat.
I mentioned he is a loan officer with Keystone Funding that the Luxors do a lot of work with. He and also I got a little mushy before you came on about what a great guy you are, but I'm not going to say that with you on here. But he's a pretty good guy, pretty good golfer, $1 million hair, $1 million smile, and uh,
Yep.
and and
Oh man, you would think I'd be running for president
He
if
was
Ben was
campaigning.
subscribing.
Yeah, he was campaigning for you
and,
for
and even
sure.
and even when it's cloudy, it's still suns out, guns out.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
He
I
he don't
appreciate
he
that.
don't
But
miss
also, I
those
mean,
gym
he says
days.
I'm a professional golfer, but I mean, respectfully, I mean, when I'm playing with you guys, I don't know if that really counts for much. I was,
He's not lying. He's not lying.
Shots
we're out there for
fired.
a good time, right? For a good time.
We're a discombobulated bunch on the golf course, but we have our moments. A good shot
Oh
here
yeah,
and there.
oh yeah. We
I'm
have our
still
moments.
waiting for my time to come out so I can just drink beer and drive the golf cart. Those are the two things that I want to do when I come.
It's there. We got a
That's what we
spot
need.
for you. We got a spot
Mhm.
for you. Well, BB, I want to start with this question because this is the question that's come up the most in the viewer feedback is, and I've said what I think from a realtor perspective, but we want your perspective as a loan officer. Why is it critical that people get pre-approved for a mortgage before they start going looking at a million houses?
Oh man, where do I start? Well, I would say the most important thing is not only so when you get into the home buying process, the first thing, if you want to submit an offer that you, the buyer's agent, is going to ask for, and the seller agent of whatever house they're trying to buy, is, well, can you afford the house?
Yeah.
Can you afford this mortgage? So they're all looking for the golden ticket, and that golden ticket is the pre-approval letter. So not only does that tell you, the buyer's agent and the seller's agent, hey, he or she can afford this, but even more important, it tells the people who are trying to buy that they can afford this.
Hmm.
Um, but a lot of times people will come to me and they're like, hey, I need this pre-approval letter for whatever this house is that they're looking for. And although they can get a pre-approved for that house, the house may still not be in their budget.
Hmm.
So although you can get approved up to that $400,000 or $500,000 house, that monthly payment or the money out of pocket might not meet your scenario. You
And
might
quick,
still.
can I ask you a question as you're talking through this?
Mhm.
So, like, two questions while I can't talk is one, people are going to their loan officer to get a pre-approval and not their bank. And then the second question is because they maybe can afford the house but not the monthly payment is because of their down payment.
Mhm. A little bit of everything. To tackle the first question, yeah, I mean, I am a loan officer, but I work for a smaller company, not like a big corporation like Wisfis or M&T. So, I mean, you can go to either one to retrieve that pre-approval letter. But I think later on, we'll kind of get to the point of, local lender equals local knowledge, and we'll talk on that later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can, based on your credit, the amount of debt that you have, your income, we take all those into consideration. And yes, you can get approved for that dream home. But when you look at, maybe you're not thinking about the utilities, maybe you're not thinking about any outside bills that you have outside of like your credit cards and all that come into play, or maybe you have a wedding or something coming in the next few months, or
Wedding? Did
some
I hear
Somebody say
wedding?
wedding? Did somebody say
Wait,
wedding?
wait.
what happened?
She's a international wedding planner. Sorry.
Oh, snap. There you go. Look at that.
And it's like somebody saying they want to sell their house. I'm like, what? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. But like, there's just a lot of things that go into everybody's situation that, a lot of those, like when you're a first time home buyer, you get really emotional and you want to jump the gun. But like a lot of times they're not thinking long term that could put them in a bind, when it comes to their budget.
Yeah.
Well, Kristen, you could, based
Mhm.
on the data you provide Brennan, he could give you a pre-approval letter that says you're pre-approved up to $400,000. But at the end of the day, that $400,000 house, if you buy it, like, are you really prepared for what that financial commitment is in concert with all your other financial commitments, how much cash you're going to have to lay out on settlement day? Like,
Right.
to be able to buy it versus afford it are kind of two separate things.
Totally. And like, I don't know if this is a thing that other people have if you're a small business owner. Like, I'm hesitant to even take that step because I don't want to get, like denied anything. Like that kind of feels like a punch in the gut. Like as a small business owner, no, I'm not making what I was making in my corporate job. Does that have a huge influence on getting approved and things like that? Probably, right? Like that's the reality of it. And so maybe there's fear for, me or other people who need to take that step, but they're like, oh, I don't know. Like I
Mhm.
already have a home, second home. It's like a big to-do kind of thing. There's just like steps to take, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, but I always say it's better to check, because say that you do end up wanting to pull the trigger a year from now. Well, it's better to kind of get a game plan now than a
mhm.
year from now.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're a small business owner, a lot of people are in that same scenario. Um, a lot of that is based off your tax returns. So if we have to adjust those on what you're claiming and going through all that, you kind of gotta figure that out now before tax season comes.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good
so
call.
yeah, it changes for everybody. People who are corporate position, it's a little different in regards to pay, hourly pay or salary. But business owners, in regards to anybody, I definitely would say get a game plan beforehand until like you're ready to jump on it right then and there.
And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
bring up a good point, BP, just so people can hear this. I think there's a sense that some people have if you don't have a W-2 type job and your income's not consistent every 2 weeks, maybe it's up and down,
Yeah.
like that you'll never be able to get approved for that kind of stuff. And so while we're not going to get into the real details of it, the answer is you absolutely can. And I'll tell
Oh
you how
yeah.
to do that because I got approved to buy this house and Brennan did my loan and I'm a 1099,
Yeah.
self-employed person. So there's lots of loan products and ways that a good loan officer can take all your info and help you figure out how to position it and strategize so that you can get pre-approved, even if you're a 1099 independent
Mhm.
contractor.
Yeah.
You
Nice.
know the most important thing is find a loan officer that you really trust and that you jive with.
Yeah.
Do that, then
Mhm.
it'll be much easier for you to go have that conversation with them, BP, and just be like, I'm not sure where I am, and hell, maybe I don't even qualify, but like, let me walk you through what I'm thinking, and then they can help you figure out how to get through that maze.
Yeah, and Brennan is so, with real estate, I know you have to be licensed in the state to sell or help buyers buy. Is it the same for loan officers as well? Or like, can you work with me in Texas?
So it is the same. So I'm licensed in Delaware, Maryland, and PA.
Okay.
But we do have branches in Keystone all throughout the country. So
Okay.
as long as we have a branch in Texas, then I wouldn't necessarily be. I could do the application and everything on the initial part, but once you went under contract on a home, I would then pass it off to an LO who's in Texas. But
Yeah.
I would we would definitely do a
He could,
connection. You would
he
meet
could be
them and
like
everything.
he could be your sensei to walking through the process and making sure you're looking ahead and doing the right things.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like having a guy or a girl like call my guy, call my girl up. My
He's
Brennan's
Mhm.
my guy.
Brennan will be responsive. That much I know. BB, here's another question that came from viewers. They wanted to know, like, that pre-approval process, like what documents or info do you need from people, and how long should they expect it'll take for you to pre-approve them, assuming the numbers all make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, the way I explain it is it's really a two-step process. I say this to everybody that I come in contact with. The pre-approval process is a two-step process. The first step is an application, very similar as if you were to go buy a car or apply for a job. We got to get some general info on you. And then based on that general info, the second step is I will send you a list of documents to verify everything you just gave me. So in regards to the application, I'm asking where you're working, how much money you have saved, how much money you're making at your job, where you're currently living. And then the documents that I ask for have to support that. So if you tell me you're making 50 grand, so I've had some people who they say they make some amount of money hourly, and then I get their pay stubs, and maybe they make more than that, and they just didn't realize. So we just have to verify those things. But once they do send over all the documents I ask, I'd say it's about a 24-hour turn time or less
Oh, it's
from
fast.
there. Yeah, to get an idea of what you're pre-approved for, send you over a couple cost estimates, and then from there I walk through all the cost estimates with everybody line by line to make sure they have an understanding of everything. Loan types that we're going through, maybe any local programs for down payment assistance and stuff like that as well.
Mm,
I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what's most helpful with my clients when Brennan, they've already been pre-approved, but now they're getting close, they're getting further down the line, like maybe they're thinking about writing an offer. And Brennan can say, all right, well, if you were to get this house at $350,000 with the 20% you said you were going to put down, he can show you like a line by line. Here's what it's going to cost you on settlement day, how much cash you need to bring. Here's what your mortgage payment's going to be. Here's how
Mm-hmm.
much a month you're going to pay in property tax, homeowners insurance, HOA fees. And now, before we write the offer, my client can see that back to that issue of affordability. And they're like, all right, all in, it's going to cost me 2,450 bucks a month if I own this
yeah.
house. Now they can really wrap their brain around, like, I know I have it, but like, is that going to stretch me too thin? Or is that
Yeah.
right where I was kind of hoping to be and we're going to be fine? That loan estimate, I said this to a client today who had a pre-approval from some outer space lender. We can talk about that, BB, who's never heard of. I said, if they aren't willing to send you this is not a loan estimate on a house specifically, but like a detailed breakdown of the loan, the fees that are going to be charged, interest rate, all that. I said, if they're not willing to put all that in writing, I was like, run for the hills.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of these online based lenders are real quick to flash something flashy in front of you, and you're like, whoa. And it just happened to me recently. Brennan doesn't know the
Mm-hmm.
details, but I had a buyer who I'll just say this, but had a pre-approval from Bank of America.
Mm.
And I begged her to consider using a local lender. And they thought about it, but they didn't. And let me tell you, the last 48 hours of that deal were total hell with
Ugh.
Bank of America. Like, you would have thought they went bankrupt. Nobody would answer the
Yeah.
phone. I was calling five different people. The attorney was calling them, my clients calling them, emailing, calling, and they're like, not a
SOS.
yeah, it
Mm.
was a real SOS, and it almost fell apart. And the whole time I kept thinking, this, ma'am, is why I recommended you use a local lender,
Ma'am.
because, ma'am,
Ma'am.
because I've seen the movie. I know how the movie ends with Bank of America and some of the other big ones. They don't have the attention to detail, and they don't have that like focus that a local lender is going to have. And plus, they
Mhm.
probably charge you a bunch of extra fees anyway. But um,
Yeah, it's exactly what I say. Local lender, local knowledge,
right,
and that stuff comes into play. And you've seen it firsthand. Where, I write loans in Delaware, Maryland, and PA because I know them like the back of my hand.
yeah.
I don't write loans in California because I don't know anything about California. But a lot of these bigger online lenders, they're taking salary positions, and Bank of America is licensed throughout the whole country. So they're writing loans in all different kinds of states, and they don't know the transfer taxes in California or in Delaware in this case. So when you get a week out from closing and everything starts changing, the buyer's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
These questions are all tied together. This is
Yeah.
what everybody gets nervous about. Talk about credit pulls, and I think there's like a hard pull and a soft pull.
Yeah.
Tell us,
Yeah.
tell us
My
what the
goodness, I get
credit
asked
pull
this
means,
question almost every day.
and when does it happen in the process?
Yeah. Yeah. So it happens first I get your intent to proceed with the application. Once we get the application, and it's typically when I issue the credit pull, I run that by the client over the phone, like, hey, thanks for submitting your application. Is it okay if I issue a credit pull? Because that is required for any pre-approval. We want to verify that your credit is within limits. But yeah, the biggest question is this going to affect my credit score?
Right.
The initial credit pull, like the one credit pull, can in some cases affect your credit, but by no means is it never really dramatic. The bigger question is, can I get my credit pulled more than once by multiple lenders? And the answer is yes. The credit bureaus will take multiple credit pulls within a short period of time and count them as one credit pull.
Okay.
So essentially, all the lenders are pulling the same report.
Right.
And that time period is it's about 14 to 30 days. So
Okay.
you have about 14 to 30 days to have your credit pulled by multiple lenders, and it will all count as one credit pull.
That's good to know, because that I get asked that a lot too because same, we get somebody who's like Bank of America, and I'm like, hey, at least talk to one of our local lenders. And they're like, oh, well, I don't want to get my credit pulled the second time. It's not affecting them any more than the first pull, as long as it's within a week or two of each other.
Yeah. Now, I will say, like, it also depends on how stable that person's credit score is at the time. Because naturally, a credit pull is a credit pull regardless. It's an inquiry on your credit report. So if you have someone who maybe has a little bit of banged up credit, maybe they just got a car a few months ago, or maybe they've been checking their credit cards and stuff and their credit score online, and you maybe missed a late payment or something, and then you add a credit pull on top of that, then there's a good chance it could affect your score more than anybody else, because you already have had multiple dings there beforehand.
And what does a soft credit pull mean? Is that a real thing?
So it's essentially the same thing, but for a soft credit pull, at least on my end, I'm not pulling from all three credit bureaus.
Okay.
For a hard pull, we pull from all three: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and then we use the middle score of the three.
Okay.
For a soft pull, I'm essentially only pulling from two credit bureaus, and it's not counting as a hard inquiry on your credit report.
Gotcha.
I can't use that to pre-approve somebody, but if we're just like talking rough case scenario and we just kind of want to get a gist, then yeah, we can do a soft pull and it won't knock you at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's so many things that people should be learning about in school.
Yeah.
I'm like, who knew about half this? Ben knows this, but me and my husband live in a house right next to DFW Airport. Have you ever been to Texas, Brennan?
I've been like through there on my
Okay,
way to
so
somewhere else.
okay. So there's two major airports, Love Field, and then DFW is like right in between Dallas and Fort Worth.
Mhm.
But like my parents helped us get this house. So all this stuff that you guys are talking about, almost 10 years ago, it's been since they helped us get this house. I wasn't in any of these conversations. So it's like would feel like a first time home buyer getting a second home, because it's like, you know, sometimes you get help doing this stuff and there's just like no school. There's no like school for this unless you just
Mhm.
know a guy, know a girl, and can kind of get the info. So this is really great. Really, really
Yeah.
good.
I recommend that for anybody, because loan guidelines change
Mm.
yearly. And it's changed dramatically since before 2010, 2009, when everything happened with the market. They were doing mortgage application stuff way differently than back then than we are now. There's way more documentation that comes into play and guidelines on the back end of things. So yeah,
Yeah.
I completely understand. I got it. Yeah.
I
This
feel like
stuff is gibberish.
we could have BB on once a month and have
Oh,
fresh topics. Because as we're talking, I'm thinking about all these other follow-up questions we don't have time for, but there's so many pieces to this. Here's my advice, BP, and I've learned this both as a consumer and then being on the um, on the realtor side. Now I really know it's true. Find a realtor and a loan officer that you jive with, that you can develop a relationship with and trust, and let them guide you. If you
yeah.
that they're working in your best interest and they're not BSing you or trying to like do something weird, those two people will keep you on the right path and get you to where you want to go. And I'm not saying that's me or Brennan Brown. Find whoever the F you jive with.
I was like, are you gonna say it? You're gonna say it.
I don't like the person in front of Brennan because he's too wholesome. I'm that guy and he's not that guy.
I
Now you almost
almost
said that
wanted to
thing wrong.
have I almost had a that's what she said, but I didn't know where we were at on this. So
No, like now that I'm like, you know, have done this a while, I even think when I meet people who are like, yeah, can you help me? I'm thinking to myself, am I going to jive with this person?
yeah.
I've passed up a couple this year where I could just tell after one like session together, like in the house, I'm like, not for me. This person's
Yeah.
going to drive me nuts.
Mm.
I'm really not talking about me or Brennan or Larry or any of these people. I'm saying find somebody. Maybe you already know them, maybe you don't. Maybe it's a recommendation from a coworker or a friend. And the whole idea of like people interview realtors, like I've been through that. People are like, I want to interview you. Some people are like, I hate that. I'm like, I don't care. You interview me because guess what? I'm interviewing you too.
Right. Yeah. At
So
the
if you
same
got
damn time.
two or three realtors until you find somebody who like your gut tells you you can trust, and same with your loan officer, stick with them because they'll get you there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
If their interests are genuine and of just trying to help, then they'll get you there.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, before we transition to viewer feedback, which is going to be fire today, I did want to ask Brennan to tell us about because I told Prima BP that you are not only a husband, but you are a new dad.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you. I was thinking about bringing little man on,
Oh,
He ain't
but
that little, by the way.
huh?
He ain't that little, man. That
Dude,
dude's
he's huge.
he's
He's
not.
huge. He's just turned 6 months and he's in 12 to like 12-month clothing or more. He's huge.
okay. Let's
He's
go
like,
Hawaiian baby boy.
that breast milk is no joke.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Sorry,
it's
Taylor.
funny.
Sorry, Taylor. He's talking about your breast milk. Sorry.
That's in the teaser clip. Breast
Yeah,
milk is no
my
joke.
fault. But it's funny. I had a closing last week, and they brought their baby to the closing, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, how old is she?" Yada yada yada. And I was thinking, she was younger, and the baby, they're like, "Oh, she's 14 months," and I was like, "How much does she weigh?" She's like, 21 pounds," and I'm thinking in my head, "Well, my baby's 6 months, and he's like 20 pounds." I'm like, "He's huge." Um,
That's awesome. Does he have a Hawaiian middle name?
he does. He does.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. You
So,
don't have
yep.
to
So it's
share, but I just had to know.
no, it's okay. So Beckham Nakoa Brown.
Oh my gosh, that's an awesome name.
Thank you.
Beckham Nakoa Brown.
He's a
I definitely would have brought him on, but we
Aw.
had my wife forgot to mention that we had someone coming over to fix up. We're like redoing our fireplace, so I'm
Yeah.
like actually at my mother-in-law's right now in her office. I'm actually trying to like not show because she's a big Cowboys fan.
oh,
Oh, let's
oh,
She's got like
go.
all this Cowboy stuff on here, and I'm a diehard Eagles fan. So I'm like, I'm like,
Let's go. Shout out to Dusty Buns.
we've unfortunately had a lot of diehard Eagles fans on the pod, and they are brutal. Oh my gosh. They not so brutal 2 weeks ago when the Giants got after them, but they play again this week, so I don't feel good about it. The Eagles are going to want a little payback, and
oh
Were
yeah,
you
oh
were you
yeah.
crying last night with my dad, Ben?
I actually don't want to talk about it.
Okay, on to the next.
I haven't finished processing it. But I'll say this now that you mentioned it. And Brendan, I'm probably going to use some profanity. Why is it happens to the Giants all the time? Our kicker seems to always be hurt. Why can't we just find some fucking guy on the corner who knows how to kick extra points and bring him in for a week?
You're trying
Every
to
time
be
we got to get a backup kicker, we get some dude who can't kick. Like I feel like if I went down to the park or to Cape and Open High School right now, there's probably some 30-year-old guy out there kicking field goals just in case he gets the call. Why can't
Just
we get that guy?
That's only for movies, Ben. That's only for the
I don't
movies.
know. There's been some crazy stories on kickers who were like, they were like, teaching freshman English and got a call like, "Hey, you still kicking?" Yeah.
that's
Always
just
some
that's
loser
that's
who
just
can't
what it's
kick.
like to be a Giants fan, man. They just let you down. They
Yeah.
just
Well,
let you.
listen,
And Cowboys, don't get it twisted.
Cowboys. Listen. At least I didn't wake up looking like this today, Brennan Brown.
Okay.
Oh my goodness,
That's me. That was me.
what is going
I
on
have
there?
a I have a hair and makeup artist friend, and she needed to play around with some Halloween stuff. Hey, that looks good. The lighting is great. Shout out to Alex Mack Hair and Makeup. She's great. Childhood friend.
That's super cool.
She travels around as well. So, shout outs to my girl.
For
Thanks
sure.
for
For
stealing that
sure.
pic. That was fun.
She did a
Me
hell of
and
a
her
job.
kids all got their face.
Oh yeah. She's good. I mean, like that picture for real though, like some of the other pictures you posted, I was like, damn, that makeup is like legit.
No, that
Yeah,
does look really legit. Yeah.
I scared my husband and my dad yesterday. Not really. They weren't really buying it, but I tried.
That's
Did you do
that's
the
a
thing where
better.
like they turn the lights on? You're just like right there.
I should have, but I just waited till they like opened the door, so it wasn't as scary, but I was scaring the kids around the house yesterday before I left.
Shout out to Uncle John, by the way. My Uncle John, Kristen's dad. I haven't seen Uncle John in a minute.
Well, you can call him crying and talk about your giants.
I'm not
Hmm.
ready to talk about it. All right,
Oh
well,
my
listen,
gosh.
I hope Brennan will stay on with us for viewer feedback. This is one of our more
Viewer
popular segments,
feedback.
Brennan.
Da, 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 da.
We get text messages, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube comments from people about, the previous week's episode. And in general, people have kind of made it a sport to like take shots at us.
Oh snap! All right,
Hey,
let's
if
do
you're
it.
staying for this one, buckle your seatbelt because Ben put himself in a position last week poo-pooing on
That's what
Miss.
she said.
Yeah.
You said it. You
That
said
was a
it.
good one. That was a good one. He is salty about some 10-year anniversary stuff with the wifey, and
Hmm.
people were not having it. I cannot wait to hear what they said.
Hmm.
Lay
They
it on us.
they got after me. Yes,
Lay it on us.
I'll do the couple non-anniversary feedbacks first. My main man Ev wanted to know what kind of NIL deal does Captain Jimmy have because you mention him every freaking episode. So does he have like a sponsorship deal or not? You
What
want
does NIL
that's
mean?
that's the name, image, and likeness. That's what's become a big thing in college sports, where now the athletes can have like basically like a sponsorship deal and do commercials or do
Oh, okay.
appearances for money. But do you want to answer whether or not Captain Jimmy has like a sponsorship deal, and that's why we mention him pretty much every episode, or
He doesn't have a sponsorship deal, but when
but
you're
he
just,
should.
but he should. When you're just that good and you just take care of literally our entire family, you just get talked about on the pod. So that's what it is.
Yeah, he
Be
should.
that good. Be that good, Ev, right?
That's
Was
right,
that
Ev. Step up and be as cool as Captain Jimmy. By the way,
who?
having breakfast with the captain on Wednesday morning. So
Okay.
by next week, I'll have some
Shout out to Captain Jimmy then. Another
Beach and
one.
Bash updates.
I don't know who this Captain Jimmy is.
Um,
Oh,
you were at the bonfire. He wasn't. It was his wife who was there that night. Blonde hair. Maybe you saw her kind of.
Okay.
I don't think they
Probably
stayed.
I talked to almost everyone there.
I don't think Erica. I said his wife. Her name is Erica. She has a name. Erica and Jimmy own Beach and Bash event and wedding
Ah,
planning.
okay.
He was there,
Okay.
from what I understand, at the beginning, kind of got it all set up, and then came back at the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
you gotta meet them. I
they're the
haven't
best.
met Erica, but I've met Captain Jimmy and just good peeps. Good peeps, amazing company that they have. We had our family vacation in Delaware at Ben and his wife's house, and they took us out on their boat and just like had a
That's
really
awesome.
good time. Like it was really
Love
good.
that. Love
Yeah,
And
that.
he's been on the pod a couple times.
you'll meet him, BB. He's a great dude, and by the way, unfortunately, also an Eagles fan. So
Oh, we're gonna definitely give him some NIL money then.
he's
Besties.
he's one classless SOB, let me tell you. Okay, moving on. to Timmy. This is Timmy. I grew up with Timmy. He wanted me to tell you this, especially Prima BP. I don't know why it's aimed at you. He said, I got to be honest. When I watched episode 2 of this podcast, I thought to myself, these idiots will never make it past 10 episodes. Timmy, what the hell, Timmy? And
Why was that targeted?
why you aiming that at my bestie? You don't even know her. Why didn't you shoot that shot at me?
First of all, what happened in episode 2?
I know that was the episode I had the cowboy hat on. For some reason, I know that. But
Hey, I don't even remember the episode, so shots fired, but I don't know. Whatever.
well, Timmy, I got an
Sorry,
update for
Timmy.
you. This is episode 22, you loser.
Ooh!
We were right, and
Clap back.
we're already planning our episode 30 celebration, Timmy. So take it easy.
Yeah,
But
that's so funny.
as always, shout out to the haters, right, Brennan?
Yeah, don't let them bring you down. They hate us because they ain't us.
That's exactly right.
Ooh.
That's exactly right. Melanie, not my sister-in-law,
Oh,
your cousin Melanie. This is
okay.
a different Melanie. She wanted to share that she loves the fact that she can now listen to the pod on SoundCloud in the
Woo!
car because before a few weeks ago, Brennan, we were only on YouTube, so you had to like watch it, even if you weren't looking at it, you had to have it playing to listen.
Weren't people giving you hassle for that too?
Yes, we were getting a little hassle for that. So my co-host Prima BP got us on SoundCloud. All the episodes are there. You can listen in the car, while you're at the gym, while you're dropping a deuce, whatever your thing is. You know what I mean?
Available at all times. For sure.
Yep. So Melanie, you're welcome. Thank you to my beautiful porcelain skin cousin Kristen Gonzalez who made that happen. Um,
This is really good.
this is
This is
good.
a good one. Yeah.
Mike is a Princeton guy. He said he's convinced that the concept of you having a husband is fake news.
Well, hey, I really tried. Ben was supposed to text him over this weekend. Can confirm no text was sent. Just just saying.
It's still on it's on my list. It's on my
Yeah.
list.
He's on the wanted poster behind you, but
It's on my
he is alive and well at school right now, has a big exam tonight. He said absolutely the F not, he will not come on the pod. So
Yeah, we've been trying to get him, Brennan. He's a low key man of few words. Um,
Okay. I respect that.
he's
but
too busy.
I'm not giving him. He is busy also. He's a full-time job working for American Airlines, but he's also going to school at night to become a airline mechanic.
Yeah.
And so like 4 nights a week after working a full day, he's doing that. So he is a busy dude, but there's always time for the pod. Come on, Dusty Buns.
Maybe I'll have to put together like a video montage of him like I did for Family Vacay, but to where he has no idea that that's happening. I'll work on it, peeps. I'll work on it.
All right, work on it. And I'm not giving up. I want to get him on here. He's a great dude. He's elusive. He's elusive. Okay. Oh, that last one. Oh no, two more before that the hot topic.
Oh my God. I can't wait for people to like you.
So Kara said, "Why does BP literally keep booking Airbnbs in California when she has weddings and then sleeping in the airport?"
That's a great question.
Twice you've done this recently.
I know. Yeah, it's tough life. It's hard.
Brennan, BP has planned 2 weddings recently that are both in California. And so she goes out and takes an Airbnb and she works her ass off like, 18, 20-hour day. And then she's supposed to go back to her Airbnb and get some rest before she flies out in the morning. And both times she decided to just get her bag, go to the airport, and just sleep at the airport.
The quick take is I don't want to waste money on a full day of staying somewhere where the flight is literally hours within the wedding ending and me leaving. So I would rather like buy snacks, like whatever.
Well, I think the real question is, are you sleeping at the airport?
No.
Okay, as long as you're not like asleep at an airport, I feel like only like psychos sleep at an
Right,
airport.
right.
Like
I'm
I
not,
can't close my eyes about around a bunch of strangers and like
no.
expect it
And
to be.
a quick take on this last one, Brendan, so you know, like the first time I only took my backpack, so I got through security to the other side.
Yeah.
Well, this time I checked a big ass bag and I forgot that I wasn't going to be able to do that. I'm like at the entry door right there in a chair. And I'm just like, oh my God, 4 hours of this. Kill me now. They
Yeah,
got the
no.
guy cleaning on the little dry. It was a nightmare, but it's all good. I got Burger King winning. Ooh.
Have it your way.
Hey, hey, I'm just trying to get all the experiences in, okay?
You are.
Mhm.
You
I
are.
like
By
experiences.
the way, I never thought about it, but I agree with Brennan. And I've been in a lot of airports lately. When I see somebody like knocked out at the airport, I always think like, okay, that's a little much.
Yeah. And it's always in the weirdest positions. They're like laying flat out on the floor, like just like dirty. I'm like, why are you like
Yeah.
face first on the ground? Like,
I
like
was in
this
a
is so
chair and I had like my arm, like I was hovering intertwined with my shit. Like nobody was in a co I do see people just like their stuff's everywhere, like y'all said. It's
Mhm.
crazy. No, I'm not a psychopath. I'm not a killer.
Next time, maybe just don't get the Airbnb. It's good tax write-off for what it's worth. By the way, me and Kristen shared a meme, Brennan, in the last couple days about a dude talking about the difference between saying I'm going on vacation or
Oh,
saying like I'm going on a business trip.
business trip.
Like if you say it out loud, I'm going on a business trip, then the whole thing's a write-off. If you tell your homies like, yeah, I'm going on vacation, you
Grr.
that's not a write-off. So
you're cooked. Yeah.
So from here on out, only business trips.
on the business trip,
Only business
VP.
trip.
You know how I roll. I don't want to talk about my taxes on the pod because I don't know who watches this, but um,
Oh my
I'm a,
God.
I'm a W-2 employee, so I don't really get to write anything off like you guys.
Mm,
yeah,
okay.
it's
Well,
a job trying to keep up with it.
yeah,
Uh,
I gotta do my receipts after this.
last non-anniversary comment. Tina said, "Wait, why is Rev spending all this time talking about the bonfire? Dude wasn't even there." I talked about the bonfire last week, and I was not there, as you both know. I was in transit from Cleveland back to Newark, and from Newark back to Slower Lower, so I missed the bonfire, unfortunately. But all reports was that it was great, and I know Brennan was there, and Brennan's company, Keystone Funding, was generous enough to be one of the sponsors and help us pull that off. And
Oh, nice.
we had nothing but great feedback, and certainly like tells us that we got to do that again next year.
Oh yeah, it
Awesome.
was such a good vibe. With the bonfire, I had my son was playing in the sand. The food was banging. Everything was good.
Yeah.
It was
Captain
awesome.
Jimmy.
Shout out to
Captain Jimmy.
and,
Captain Jimmy.
and the big boss, Erica. I mean, we got to make sure we mention Erica because,
True.
like I like to tell Jimmy, she's the beauty and the brains of that operation.
Shout out to Erica.
Yeah. All right. So last topic, Brennan.
Whew,
I'll
I'm
give Brennan a
sweating.
little
I'm sweating.
background. So when we recorded the pod last week, that was Monday, I assume, BP, right? Last Monday.
Yep. Right.
My 10-year wedding anniversary was last Saturday, the 11th.
Okay.
And for a whole confluence of reasons, my wife and I were not together on that day. And the reasons are all legitimate reasons. We've talked
Okay.
about this on the pod. Her mom was in a bad car accident a month or so ago, and they've been basically having to give like 24/7 presents at her house to help her. So my wife was doing that, trying to juggle her job. A lot of people are helping with that.
Quick update. AP can write her name. She has pen and paper. It's crazy. We'll have to tell you that another time, Brendan. But okay, keep going.
So
Yeah.
anyway, I was bummed out about it
Yeah.
that we didn't spend the
Salty is
yeah,
the
yeah,
appropriate.
I was salty and my wife and I definitely had a few discussions about it over those couple days and I respectfully, because I would never be disrespectful to my wife, said how kind of how I felt and how I thought maybe she had swung and missed that day by not being down here. So anyway, on the pod, I really wasn't planning to talk about it last week, Brennan, but
And
my
then he popped all the way off.
but then Big BP maybe mentioned something about the anniversary, and I just, dude, I couldn't. It just came out. So
I said happy anniversary, and he said, "Oh, oh, you want to talk
No, he
about
was
that?"
ready. Oh, he
He
was
was,
ready.
yeah. I said,
So
oh no,
I if anybody wants to know what I said, you can go on
watch
YouTube
it.
and watch episode 21. So
Yep.
there were more than two comments. I'm only going to share two and then I'll talk about it. Mariah said, "Man, Rev was super passive aggressive about his anniversary situation. What's up with that?" Fair, it's fair, it's fair, it's
Oh my
fair.
God.
That's hilarious.
Um, Side note, my wife was here this past weekend. We had a wonderful, beautiful weekend together and went out to a beautiful dinner and it was great. So,
Me and Melanie were laughing when I was going to visit. We were laughing because sometimes you'll post pictures of the two of you, and we know that y'all are not together. So it's always like, is she down there? Where? Just like how you're like, where's Prima BP? I'm like, is Angie really in Delaware? Is like our top question. So it was nice that you guys finally got together last
we,
weekend, this
we
past
did. And
weekend.
I do post a lot of pictures of me and my wife because I love her and I miss her
Exactly.
and for many, many
Exactly.
reasons. She's also the most beautiful woman I've ever laid my eyes on.
Who
Mm.
does not age?
She does not age. You can see the 10-year picture I shared. She doesn't look any different. And then the other comment was Lisa, who's a Pennsylvania friend from a long time ago, said, "I hope Rev vetted that messy short story he told with his wife before he told it."
He did not.
I did,
Nope.
did not.
Mm-mm.
Babe,
I was like, I was surprised that we were, yeah. I was like, oh, 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 okay, okay.
so yeah, so Brennan, it wasn't my finest moment. Um,
You're digging
Yeah,
yourself a hole, big
it was a
dog.
I
pretty deep
was,
one.
I was, but I didn't.
7 feet under.
Certainly didn't plan it. And, we on the pod, although we like to joke that we much more enjoy talking about other people's messes than our own, we also have said that one of the things we wanted to be on the pod when whatever we're talking about is like keep it real. And we've talked about a lot of topics and, family and, um, we had an episode where we got into to my aunt, Prima BP's mom, who passed away, young. And that was, there was tears coming out on the pod. Like we've talked about some real stuff.
Mhm.
So I don't take it back. I,
Okay,
As long,
golly.
well, I
as
don't
long
take,
as you brought flowers this past week.
Yeah.
I didn't do flowers, but I don't take back the way I was feeling. Because I thought I had some legitimate, feelings about kind of the way it unfolded. Um, but I take back the tone because I don't usually go back and watch the pod, but I did go back and watch that because I really I wanted to make sure I remembered what I said and kind of how I said it. Um, I take back the tone and to just clarify a couple things, which I said last week, but I'm going to clarify this because somebody was kind of like really got after me about this and called me selfish. And I don't think I was being selfish, but I want to clarify what I had to say about not spending my anniversary with my wife is a totally separate issue from how we all feel about my mother-in-law's health and her recovery from this accident. And nowhere
Yeah,
was I suggesting like you're paying too much attention to your mom, you need to pay more attention to me. In fact, I went out of my way to make sure she understood that that wasn't what I was saying. What I was saying was, thank God you've got a whole tribe of people there who can help take care of your mom while she needs it. It doesn't have to be you 24/7. Um,
yeah,
but any suggestion that I was downplaying, I mean, Brennan, my mother-in-law, the accident was, she's lucky she's alive, legit.
yeah.
It was a serious accident. She broke
Yeah.
both of her arms and her elbows, and she needs nonstop care because she can't use her arms right now. Serious
Mm.
situation.
Mm.
Anyway, so that's one thing I want to clarify. The other thing I want to clarify, and I don't need to clarify this, but I want to, and my wife knows this because if I've told her these things once, I've told her a million times. Um, and Kristen, I think you know this from seeing us together. My wife is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I know that today, and I certainly knew it last Monday when we were doing this podcast, and I knew it every other fucking day. So whether I got a little too deep into that topic, whether people didn't think I was being fair, um, I love all the viewers, and I love the haters and the supporters and all that in between, but I don't need to justify how much I love my wife because she knows that. Uh,
It's true.
she feels that, and I treat her like a queen because that's what she is. So, um, yeah, I mean, listen, I'm human, and I was in my feelings about it, and we talked about it a number of times, and now it's it's history. She did miss out on one thing that I was going to do, Brennan. Um,
You'll do it.
Prima BP knows this. I There was a song. It's a song in Spanish that always kind of reminded me of mostly of kind of this situation we've been in for the last 4 or 5 years living separately. Um, that I was going to sing to her on our
Oh,
anniversary
oh, that's what you're about to say.
in Spanish. And
Those things.
it's not an easy song to sing. And I spent a lot of time practicing and trying to learn how to be a better singer. Um, and I was going to surprise her and do that. And of course, we weren't together, so it didn't happen. And I've decided that I built it up so much for that day and I was ready to do it that I'm not sure I can get my mojo right to still do it.
Mm.
We'll see. Maybe there will be a day in the future where all of a sudden I feel differently about that. But right now I feel like I kind of lost my steam for doing it because that would take a lot of internal steam for me to sing to
Yeah.
somebody. I'm not a singer. To sing in another language. The language is not an issue for me, but singing in it is. So,
Mm.
Yeah, the moment passed, but there will be another, so it's all good. I'm glad that you got all that off your chest. Do you feel better?
um, listen, the feedback was strong about it, so I felt like I needed to speak on it.
I was wait, I knew it was coming.
Yeah,
As it was going live, I was like, "Oh. Oh yeah. Okay, we're doing this on this. Okay."
my wife is,
Good.
I don't, and one if I had one word, what is my wife? My wife is
In one word, how can you?
my wife to me, she's like my hallelujah.
Okay, wow.
Mm.
Um,
That was a good one word.
That's a
Wow.
pretty big one.
yeah,
Mm.
well, that's how I feel. So,
Um, Brennan, how long have you been married?
I've been married for 2.5 years, but
Okay.
we've been together for 8 years,
Okay, for
pretty
forever.
much our entire 20s.
I love it.
So I'm a young buck, but we've been together almost our entire 20s.
I feel you. When I tell people my husband and I have been together for 16 years, they're like, "How old are you? Are you
Yeah.
12? Like what is going on?" I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah,
duh."
I
yeah.
should have popped the question sooner.
When right?
Oh, I knew I was just slacking. I don't know why I was slacking.
Listen, we got to wrap this up, but there was a
Yeah.
moment not long before Dustin, Kristen's husband, proposed to her that I had like legit gone to my wife and her sister Stephanie and said, "Listen, I know everybody's like, don't get involved. It'll happen when it happens." I was legit said to Steph and Angie, "I think next time Dustin's here, like I'm actually going to say something to him in private because he's taking too long." Like, in other words, we know that she's a rock star and she's a catch. Either you know or you don't know, Dustin. And if you don't know, then maybe it's time to move on.
That's that Jersey in you.
Yeah, if you know after all these years, then put
Yeah.
a ring on it. But then he did it, so I didn't have to say anything. I was going to say something like,
Boom.
"Hey, don't be dragging my cuz around any longer. You either
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Flex it. There
we
you
love
go.
Dustin. Dustin's money in the bank. We love that dude. So,
Oh my gosh.
BP, any final words you want to share with the most handsome reeler this side of the Mississippi, Brennan Brown?
This has been really good and helpful. I can't wait to get this out to everybody. I know we had like half the pod was just about our viewer feedback, but your segment is super important. A lot of people have been asking about this since we talked about it weeks and weeks ago. Not just helpful for myself. So I'm excited to put this on blast on our social and then hopefully have you back, once we kind of go through a couple more episodes. And bring new knowledge to our viewers. So thank you so much for being on.
Yeah.
Ben was talking about your amazing hair. before the episode, and looking good. Looking good.
Good.
We'll let you know if we get viewer feedback because we prompted for it before you came on.
No, that hair and that smile, are you kidding me?
The amount of
Yep.
nicknames that these guys have for me are insane.
Zac Efron, baby, Zac Efron.
That's my name and then everyone's phone. I don't get it.
If anybody wants to get in touch with Brendan Brown, you just message me. I'll give you his cell phone, his email. Keystone Funding's his company. You can find him on Facebook or Instagram if you really want to look for him, or Google Keystone Funding Delaware, and his beautiful picture will pop up on your screen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But thank you, dude. That was
Yeah, for
informative.
sure.
You're the
No,
man.
this was awesome. This was awesome. I appreciate you guys inviting me on. This was a blast.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed this a lot. This was really fun.
Thanks.
I'd be more than happy to come back on. Yeah, I mean, if people have more questions and they want to know more, more knowledge, more power. I think it's great.
We're
Awesome.
glad you had time. I mean, the first 2 or 3 loan officers we asked weren't available, so I'm glad we got you.
Here you go. I knew something was coming. Here you go.
If we were recording, I would have said that different, but I don't want to put other people's names out there.
I'm sure I'll hear it next week when we go golfing.
Yes. So thank you for coming on. Prima BP,
Mhm.
you're the
You're
best.
the best.
We'll be back next week, episode 23. It's just me and you recapping all kinds of craziness. And then episode 24, we'll talk about our guest next week. Great
Yeah.
guest, great topic. And thank you, Brendan Brown.
Yeah.
Prima BP,
Thanks, guys.
you're the best. Love you. And we'll do it again soon.
Okay. See you later,
You
Hawaii.
guys. Thank you.
Bye.